We're here with Sean the Star Emperor. Hi.
Hello, 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 hello.
Hello. Tell us about yourself and your art.
Well, okay, I do dance, glam, house music. Again, if you research, I have this whole mythos about me and my origins, coming from another galaxy, a hidden secret galaxy between Sirius A and B, out in the Orion constellation. I'm here to Earth. I'm on Earth, here to bring, you know, uninhibited fun. That's what I'm about.
Uninhibited fun.
Uninhibited fun. If you wanna take your kids to school in the morning, but at night, change your gender. That's so be it. It's fun.
Awesome.
You know?
Yes. So, what are you wearing today? This is your second look.
Second look.
Why don't you tell us about my garment, and then also
well,
what you paired it with?
Okay, so I have all of your lightning bolt leggings because I love things that have to do with, like, you know, the constellation, the sky, the cosmos, space. So lightning comes from above, like me. So that's what I love about this, and it's just, it really keeps me in because I'm not, you know, even though I'm not overweight or anything, but you know, I got a little jelly. But I feel like I just feel so powerful with the lightning bolts and the leggings. I just look at anybody can do, male, female, man, woman, straight, gender fluid. It's just such a cool look, and I love it, and I always get compliments. This is my third color, and I love it.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. I paired it with, you know, this is from a mesh top from like a vintage thrift shop, and then this was a bespoke Star Emperor, I think circa 2014 performance outfit. So yeah, you know, this is versatile and you can use it with everything. Yeah. So thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And we're both rocking the purple, so I love that.
Yes. And now earlier you were also wearing our ruffle bottom pants.
Ruffle bottom, as we call them, the Chakra.
Yes. And you paired that with another jacket. Beautiful iridescent jacket.
Yeah, I have an iridescent trench coat that I got at a thrift shop that I can't believe it was brand new. I can't believe someone didn't want to keep it, or it wasn't bought yet, but it's specially for me and I use it for everything. Yeah. So again, you know, I love getting pieces from here and there and mixing them and fusing them, but it seems like, you know, Miss Jupiter and, you know, and Spacedust is my go-to for all my foundations, whether it's just to get a gift for someone or for myself to add, you know, flair to whatever outfit I have. I always come to you. Yeah.
Do you remember the first time you came to Spacedust?
Well, the first time I came to Spacedust, I happened to be doing a festival called Echo Park Rising at the very neighboring store, and I walked past your store. I was like, this is actually really cool, and I looked in and I was like, oh my god, it's Miss Jupiter. Because I don't know if everyone knows, but the owner of the store, Michelle, is also an amazing artist in her own right, and so I just loved everything about you. And I was just like, "What, you own your own store too? This is so cool! Like, how much cooler can you get?" You know. So I was just hooked, and then you had the pieces, the things that I was looking for. I'm looking for cosmic. I'm looking for, you know, something you can't go to Zara and everyone else is gonna wear. I mean, it's bespoke things, not just for one individual, but it's unique to you, so you only can get it there, and I love that. Yeah. And plus, it's cool to be shopping in Echo Park and adding to the community that is Echo Park, and I just feel like Sunset Boulevard and Echo Park is just like an LA thing. Like, you have to go there and get some stuff. That's LA, you know? What
do you think is the biggest, how can you summarize Echo Park with some adjectives?
For me, I don't know. Echo Park, I always see something about sunset on Sunset Boulevard in Echo Park. It's just like urban bliss. Yeah. That's what it is. Especially on your little corner of Mohawk Bend and the boulevard. It's just like something about sunset. You're just like this urban, like gritty flair. So you're not, you know, you're in a city, but the sunset with it, it's like, wow, this is what everyone dreamed about when coming to LA, you know? It's just something about being fun in the sun, cool, you know, the counterculture that exists in Echo Park is amazing.
Originality, creativity.
People do whatever they want. They're very artistic.
Yeah.
there's just something, you can't beat it.
Yeah.
I mean, it bleeds into Silver Lake Echo Park, especially right there. It's like the crossroads between the two, and it's very similar. Identities exist there. However, something about on the Echo Park side is even cooler.
Yeah.
It's cooler and tougher.
Yeah.
But not in a way where you have to be scared or it's just, there's like that edge. It's edgy.
Yeah.
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 I love it.
Yes. We love being in Echo Park.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, you can't be anywhere else. That's part of the city itself adds to the character of the people in the store. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So how would you describe your personal aesthetic, your personal style? Do you have any ways to describe that?
Yeah, well, because I am an emperor, so there's a regality to my wardrobe, and I'm from another planet, so in the cosmos. So there's a lot of iridescence, a lot of what you think of space. So think about, like, I don't know if you remember Flash Gordon. Mm-hmm. It's like Flash Gordon meets Gemini holograms, which I think is a perfect fusion between the glam and LA with the intergalacticness.
Yes. It. And perfectly also encapsulates what I like to do and why we've been drawn to each other.
Exactly. You're
very
exactly
cool.
You get it, for sure.
Yes.
We're like the yin and the yang.
Yes. So for you, where do style and art intersect?
I mean, they do. They intersect, right?
Yeah.
So for me, it's, I love to think of myself as a living anime. And I think, especially, like, I love Sailor Moon, but what people don't realize about Sailor Moon, when they're not doing all that cosmic transformation things, which I love, if you pay close attention to, like, especially the Sailor Moon that existed in the 90s, you see, like, there's just like their everyday outfits were highly inspired. The original artist of the manga it was highly inspired by couture fashion of the late 80s and 90s, and you can see it. And she even talks about how she went back to like watching like Dior runway shows and like Yves Saint Laurent and all that kind of stuff and Gaultier, and added it into the girls' fashion. And that's why they're also like really svelte with long legs, because it's paying homage to like
fashion
models.
So
you almost
fashion
like
illustration.
Exactly. Yeah. So for me, I exist part of the fiction of the Star Emperor, or the as well. Yeah. Well, part of the whole
your origin
idea,
story.
The origin story, is kind of harkening back to this whole Sailor Moon mythos too, and that encapsulated into my fashion. So again, it's like we're drawing on like the 80s glam fantasy stuff that existed with like Gem and even Sailor Moon, because they did start out in the 80s too. And so it's all that mixed in with like the Misfits. I love the Misfits from Gem as well.
The evil version.
Yeah. It's just all that. It's because it's like music, fashion, rock, and magic, and that's what the Star Emperor is.
Yeah.
So I love all that.
I love that.
Yeah.
Just that phrase. Yes.
Yeah.
So going back a little bit to shopping local. Mm-hmm. What do you feel is the most important thing about shopping local?
I mean, the most important thing about shopping locally is the fact that you're doing it, because you have to give back to the community in any way that you can, because we are being overrun by this whole this mass homogenization of stores and big corporate stores. And I have nothing against big corporations, because honestly, that's what America is about, and that, the big corporations have this power to sustain industries, right? So that's important, and I have nothing against that. But at the same token, you need individuality, and you can't get that from a big corporation. And if you squash out the small guys, you're losing the fundamentals of what America's about, and it's about like being intrepid. And maybe one day this small person becomes a corporation of their own. But if they're just too powerful, that can never happen. Right.
We need to preserve that space.
We might want to have a Spacedust Unlimited all over. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it can't happen if they're just way too powerful. But it's a problem that's, I think, more so now than ever before, because for instance, I grew up in and out of the New York City area. I'm from New Jersey, but I have tons of family in New York, and I went to school in New York, and I was born in New York. So New York was a part of my life because I spent all my big major family holidays there. And I remember there was a time where you would go to like Times Square, and that used to be an insult. People used to say, "Oh, your mother works on 42nd Street." That meant she was a hooker, because there was like the XXX places and all that kind of stuff. Now you go there, and it's just like, Starbucks, McDonald's, AMC, Starbucks, McDonald's, AMC, Starbucks, McDonald's, AMC.
Yeah.
And so now it means you don't need to be in New York to experience New York, because the whole part of New York, it was just that it was so unique and different. But now you go there, you have everything you have access to in Ohio.
Right.
And that's the problem with too many corporations. And regardless of what you think about those kind of industries and businesses, it gave identity. And that's why you have to support small businesses, because it gives identity to your locale.
Perfect. I
Sorry
love that.
for being long-winded.
Oh, that's great. I love
it.
Do you have another favorite place or environment in LA or around LA that you like to spend time in, create in, be inspired by?
Well, honestly, I wanted to come here because this is one of my go-to spots, especially during the pandemic, especially through all that.
Yeah, you chose this location, and so we are in.
Where are we?
We are in Franklin Canyon Park. It's a reservoir, but it looks just like you're in. I mean, sometimes people think it's upstate New York, or it just looks not like. I like to think it's the place in The Parent Trap that they go to when they're trying to get rid of the soon-to-be stepmom. This is where we're at. You know, it's the wilderness in the middle of Studio City, LA. You don't even know it's here. The other side's Beverly Hills, and it's actually a sneak route into Beverly Hills if you wanna. You go around the little lake or whatever, and it's great. There's like little. I feel like my childhood when you used to go on little class trips, because there's like little like conservation centers. There's the little duck area, the koi area. There's a little amphitheater. So it's just cool. I love it. You can do your exercise and really absorb nature. There's cougars and snakes too.
Yeah.
So and
maybe
coyotes.
Maybe nature will absorb us.
Yeah. There's a little water. Streams and features throughout. It's awesome. I love it here.
It's beautiful.
I definitely
Thanks for bringing us
download
here today.
for sure.
Yeah. So beautiful and tranquil.
Thank you.
Is there one change that you can name that you'd like to see in the world, and how do you think that we can enact this change?
in recent issues with politics, no matter where you lay on it, I just think the issue going on is we have people who are just way too old to be ruling the masses. I think they're so much older than the majority of the people that they're meant to oversee, that they're so out of touch, and it's really hurting society. And I think because of that is why we have problems, because there's a point when you're so old, you don't have a vested interest in what's going on, because you know you're 1 foot out the door, you know? And it's hurting us.
Yeah,
it is hurting us.
And they have outdated ideas.
Outdating ideas and ideals, antiquated, and it's killing us. And it's, you know, that's where I want to go with that.
Yeah, but they're not properly serving.
I think we need to have, and I think because people are living longer, because we have better technology to keep us alive longer, that is becoming a detriment to society, because nobody is caring to retire and letting the younger people enforce their ideas and ideals and help. You know, it's like
we're not really growing as a society.
I don't think so. At least the American society, not at all.
Yeah.
As well as I feel like those people who have been in power for so long, and even if you see it in like just regular industry, they're not helping to raise up the younger ones. So there's like this kind of like stagnation of people who are like in their late 20s, early 30s, whatever, or even younger, where they get to and then just halted because these people are like, no, I'm here, I have power, and I'm still alive. Right.
We grow up with these dreams. We think we can do things that we want to do.
And so that's the issue. And so that's the change that I need to have. I think there needs to be, I think there needs to be a renaissance throughout America. And I think it may start with art, but we are definitely in our own form of a modern dark ages, to be honest.
Yeah.
And that's also hurting art too. I don't know if you've noticed, there's a lot of the same old, fueled by corporate powerheads, you know, and they're just, again, kind of ruining things because they already understood how to make money, and so they think that's always going to be the only way, and that's it. So they're not trying to find new things. Yeah. To be honest, when was the last time you've been excited to go listen to Top 40 radio?
Right. Yeah. Not ever.
No one. There's nothing inspiring. Even the movies are so turnkey.
Same thing. Yeah. Yeah.
This is not art. That's not art.
Yeah.
Agreed. And so that's hurting us. And it's from this whole idea of these older people. I have nothing against, you know, what is that? I don't know what you call it.
We got to
the
respect our
geriatric
elders, yes.
society or whatever, I don't know, but it is. I have nothing against that. I love learning from the older people, but at the same token, we got to know when to bow.
Well, and I think it's just got to be whoever's in power and whoever's in charge needs to be an accurate representation, a sampling of the population.
Correct.
It cannot just be all people of a certain age or older. It's got to be some of those.
Yeah.
But all people represented.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Well, that's kind of all I had to ask you. But do you have anything that you'd like to say?
Well, no.
Or anything that you'd like to ask me?
I mean, who knew fashion was going to get so deep?
It's very deep with me. It's very deep. You know, I put a lot of concepts into my clothing. So,
yeah. See, that's what I'm talking about. We need more art like that. Even with the concepts in the clothing. Like, I go to a regular store, and this is why I love that you're around. I go to a regular store, and I'm just like, oh, I don't like any of this. This is not, I can't just shop to shop. I have to be inspired.
Yeah.
It's not about a money thing or anything like that. It's like, you need to make me feel like, ooh.
Yeah.
I don't get that. So but when I'm at Spacedust, I get, ooh.
Yeah, so that's how I did it. That's how I reached into your heart and grabbed you.
In my soul.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great.
But anyways, well, thank you for having this and joining me up here at the top of my, neighborhood.
So beautiful up here.
Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, of course. Yeah, thank you so much.
We end with Stevie Wonder. You can feel it all over.
Oh my God, it's Sir